I realize I'm one with the one. We are one with the one. That's a shorty.
That's a good realization. And so for today, in our month of zeal and enthusiasm, I'm asking us to see how we can be living fully now. It was brought to my attention actually by Candace, this quote from Confucius, which I shared with Owen, and he said, I don't understand what that means at all, but I know what it means. We have two lives, and the second begins when we realize we only have one. So, an example of this, when I was growing up, my connection to the world was what was around me and what was going on in me, and I didn't have any real conception of my divine self. It was me, myself, and I, and it wasn't a happy party. But when I opened up to the higher truth that we are all one, we're all beloved in God's embrace, and began the long journey of praying and meditating on a daily basis to connect with that oneness, my life changed. It was a realization that, yes, I have a human journey that's temporary. It's only going to be here for, it's going to be gone. But the eternal sense of me is eternal. It's one with God. So, living truly now is really our focus on our oneness with God, our oneness with each other, and that magical bringing in the balance what our body-mind is doing and stepping into the world living fully now. So this can be reflected in this scripture, Psalm chapter 90, verse 12. Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Now, wisdom comes from what? Experience. Wisdom comes from maybe making the wrong choice, or maybe encountering a pothole or some challenge in our life. We get experience. We're like, oh, if I don't do that again, I won't feel this pain. That's wisdom. And that's why when we're young, we don't have a lot of wisdom. We don't have a lot of experience yet. But as we grow, we can number our experiences, address what's happening in our lives, accept reality for what it is, and gain wisdom. It sounds like a real simple process, and it really is, but boy, the living that truth is a whole nother thing, isn't it? Co-founder Charles Fillmore wrote about it this way: life is the one reality. Life is God's gift to man, and we must so live as to be worthy of the gift. What good is a gift if we don't unwrap it and use it? If we're given a gift and we don't even see what's inside, we don't know what treasure we might be holding. Yes, it could be a dozen pair of socks. But even that's useful. I just bought new socks because the old socks were old socks. The gifts that we've been given are ours, not for the earning. We've already received them. We know it. We have all the faith we're ever going to have. It's right inherent, it's ours. The joy, the strength, the power, the discernment, all of that is the love is already here. But we need to use it. Now, one thing that's true about this is we have no idea when we use that gift with another. For example, you're at HEB and you give a smile and you really share loving kindness with your cashier. And the cashier receives that. Well, then we can imagine that the cashier for the rest of that day is smiling and relating to other people in that way. And other people are taking that kindness and operating. When they get home, they smile and they address their family. Or they might go to work and express that in their work situation. It continues that way on and on and on. All because we were kind to one person who is doing a job that we appreciate. Kindness ripples throughout the world. I would say kindness ripples throughout the universe, but that's hard to imagine. So let's just stay with the world. So when we're sharing that love, sharing our gift, because we all have different gifts, don't we? Some of us, it's numbers and figures. Some of it's just plain caring and kindness. Some of us have the gift of music, like David. Some of us have the gift of prayer. And when we share it, it affects our lives. It's wonderful. And it's part of living fully now. Now, to give credit to the other co-founder of Unity, Myrtle Fillmore, I love this statement. She writes, "The moment we turn to God within, we begin to live." We might just be surviving, but we truly live when we turn within and open to that graciousness, to the wisdom, to the inspiration, to the guidance. I've discovered over and over again that if I just follow the guidance, my life is easy. One time I was snorkeling in Maui, and I was just swimming along, and actually I was doing my favorite Louise Hay affirmation for prosperity. My income is constantly increasing. I prosper wherever I turn. My income is constantly increasing. I prosper wherever I turn. I used to swim an hour in the ocean every day. And in my knowing, it said turn left. Well, I'm near the shore. Turning left is going ashore. But I followed it and I turned, and underneath a rock, flapping in about 1.5 feet of water, was a $100 bill. Now, I love collecting shells. And that was one pretty shell. That when we operate in that channel of God, anything's possible. Like $100 bills under rocks in the ocean. Like experiencing the grace of being alive, or being in nature, or being in a community that knows what it is to be of service and help each other. It's beautiful. So living fully now is a marker of how we're doing with our spiritual journey. So I invite you to join me this week as we Do this personal exploration. Release procrastination. Express love now. Make amends. Follow your calling. I discovered years ago that busyness was my greatest tool for procrastination. I was just so busy, I wouldn't get anything done. So I'm not busy anymore. And expressing love. My first love, when we broke up, she said to me, "You never told me you loved me." And I vowed I would never have anyone ever say that to me again. Which is why probably most of you have heard me tell you, I love you. And I'm going to keep doing it because it is my joy. Express love now. Make amends. We make mistakes. We say the wrong thing. We do the wrong thing. Just make amends. I'm sorry. I did it yesterday. I had an appointment. I didn't manage my time well, but I called and I said, "I'm very sorry. I made a mistake. I was wrong." Making amends is powerful because then we can move on. If we don't ever make the communication, what happens? Resentment, assumptions, broken agreements. Yuck, that doesn't make life feel good. And follow your calling. Each of us has yearning. It might be to take care of animals or the garden or other people or create music or write poetry or whatever it is that's pulling us. A reason to get out of bed. Release procrastination. The second is embrace joy and beauty. Recognize the sacred in the ordinary. When we look at nature or see an amazing, sometimes I've been seeing all these pumpkins and gourds and stuff in the stores, and I look down, it's like, how does nature produce this amazing vegetable? It's beautiful with nubs and colors, and it's just fascinating. And some are squashy looking, and some are fat looking, and some, it's beautiful. But that can be in nature. It can also be in other people. Their eyes, what they're wearing that day. There's so much joy and beauty, and it drops us into appreciation, drops us into love, drops us into the presence of the divine. And the third one is serve with purpose. Our life is not just for ourselves, but for others. Yes, we need to do for ourselves. We need to take care of ourselves. That means eating, drinking, sleeping, playing, working. But when we're taking care of ourselves, from our overflow, we can be of service to each other. Be holding a door. Loving kindness has a magical offering for allowing all of us to live better. And expressing gratitude expands whatever we're focusing on. It really is a great thing to do. So if you're willing, you'll join me as we open up to living fully now. Are you ready? Yes. Beautiful. Thank you.